Just imagine for a second how much better you could eat if you knew that you could make healthy recipes in just 5 minutes. When I was going through my weight loss journey, one of the biggest struggles was really just trying to figure out how to eat healthy when I was busy. I know most of us don't have a lot of extra time to spend in the kitchen, so that's one of the reasons I love to batch prep. A batch prep is kind of like the building blocks of fast and easy meals. Once the prep is done, you can mix and match to make a whole bunch of different meals really quickly, which is exactly what I'm going to show you today. Now, if you saw my last video, that prep is going to be the building blocks of today's recipes. And I'm going to start out with a recipe that I make pretty much every single time I do a batch prep because it is so easy and so versatile. And there are many names for this dish. You can call it a Buddha bowl, a power bowl, a nourish bowl. Basically, they are all the same. We are taking some hot elements and some cold elements and combining them into a delicious meal. So the first one is going to be a Mexican inspired bowl because we have that tofu chorizo to use up. First things first, let's heat up any of the ingredients that we're going to want hot in this bowl. So we'll just add the sweet potato, the rice and quinoa mixture, broccoli, our tofu chorizo, and the roasted red peppers. And then we'll heat this in the microwave for about a minute. And then go ahead and add any toppings that you like. I'm going to add some avocado, some of this black garlic from Trader Joe's, which is delicious, as well as some salsa verde for our kind of topping or dressing. And then of course top with some of our green onions that are already prepped. You could also add some cashew cream on here for like a sour cream kind of taste. That would be really delicious as well. And now we have a super delicious bowl that only took us a few minutes to make. Now I'll probably make a bowl like this a few days in a row, especially once I find a combination of ingredients that I like. I tend to just eat that combination over and over again until I get tired of it. But in order to show you guys some variety today, let's go ahead and make a different lunch option, which is kind of similar in ingredients, but is going to taste very, very different. So we are going to start with that same rice and quinoa mixture and then just top it with some chickpeas. I just keep mine in the freezer and then defrost them the night before I need to use them. And then we'll just add some steamed beets and some more roasted red pepper and go ahead and heat this up for about a minute. Then we will top it with some of the mint we prepped, as well as cucumber, red onion, and olives. And then for our dressing, we just have some veggie broth and we're gonna add some red wine vinegar, maple syrup, dried parsley, dill, and oregano, and some salt and pepper. Of course, feel free to add any ingredients into these bowls that you like, but I do find that kind of sticking to one style or cuisine type per bowl really does help make it a little bit tastier. I used to be the kind of person to cram all these different kinds of flavors and ingredients into one bowl, but I found that just kind of simplifying and keeping it to one cuisine type per bowl really does make it a lot tastier. Now sometimes I will use sweet potatoes in savory recipes like the lunch example I showed at the beginning of this video, but usually when I bake sweet potatoes, my mind goes to something sweet, and I love, love, love sweet potatoes for breakfast, so we're just gonna make some simple overnight oats with these. So we're gonna take 2 of the baked sweet potatoes, which is about 1 1/4 cups once they're mashed. And to that we are just gonna add 1 cup of oats, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of chia, 2 cups of any plant-based milk you like. I'm using oat milk, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and then go ahead and combine that all together. Now this is totally optional, but I do like to include some protein powder in mine. So I'm doing a scoop of the chocolate vega and then just a bit more water to get it to the right consistency. And then go ahead and spoon that into your jars and refrigerate until needed. I also like to top mine with fruit. I usually use frozen raspberries, but you could also use peanut butter, banana, vegan yogurt, anything you like. Aren't sweet potatoes just the best? They actually make a really good dessert as well. I have a few sweet potato desserts on this channel. I have done a sweet potato chocolate pudding, sweet potato brownies, even sweet potato ice cream. So if you are looking for any other recipes to use up your sweet potatoes, I'll leave those down below. This next recipe is here to tell you that you don't have to have everything prepped in order to have your batch prep elements make your cooking easier. So for this stir fry, I'm going to use soy curls, which are super easy to use. I will show you how, but you could even use something like edamame or tempeh or more tofu if you wanted to do that. So even if you have some ingredients prepped but not everything, don't worry, it's still gonna make cooking much faster. So we're just gonna rehydrate these soy curls first in boiling water and then add a little bit of broth paste to give them some flavor, and then just let those sit for about 10 minutes until they're fully rehydrated, and then go ahead and drain the water, and you can kind of press some of that extra water out with the fork. I also love utilizing my freezer whenever possible. So this is actually a stir-fry sauce that I made about a month ago, and I just made a huge batch all at once, portioned it out into little containers, and then froze them individually. So anytime I want to make a stir-fry, I can just defrost one sauce and I have a perfectly portioned out sauce ready to go. So to the stir-fry sauce, I'm just adding a tablespoon of cornstarch, and then we are going to do a water saute for our veggies, starting with the green onion, celery, and bell pepper, and we'll just let those cook down for a couple minutes before adding our soy curls and then our stir-fry sauce, which looks really liquidy, but I promise it will thicken up thanks to that cornstarch. Just let it simmer on high for a couple minutes. And then we'll serve that alongside our rice and quinoa. Go ahead and top it with anything you like. I'm using sesame seeds and toasted cashew pieces. I just want to show you that it also doesn't have to be meals. A batch prep can help us save time with preparing snacks or even like drinks. I love to have a little pre-dinner snack. You know that time when you're like getting all the things out for dinner and you're really hungry? I'll reach for whatever is convenient. So if I have some chopped veggies and some hummus sitting in the fridge, I will eat them. So you want to make sure you factor that into your batch prep as well if you do want to have those snacks on hand. So as you can see, a batch prep is really just about helping make your life easier and hopefully helping you save some time in the kitchen. Now, if you're brand new to batch cooking and you want to learn kind of the basics and fundamentals, you've got to check out this video here, which is a great jumping off point for anybody who is brand new. Or if you are ready to dive in deeper, make sure you check out the link for the Let's Eat Plants meal prep course. I would love to have you join us for the next round, and hopefully I'll see you there.